It's wizard time, motherfucker! Fireball!
Hello. This has been a project I've been working on for quite some time now, and I am so excited to finally announce it. I have published my first webcomic. I've been talking and obsessing over this work for weeks now on Tumblr and Reddit, and it's so awesome to finally have a published link I can share. So, what the heck is this comic about? Let me just read the summary I have here on Webtoon. 2 years ago, a magical explosion nearly destroyed the castle of Avondale, capital of the human kingdom. No one knows for sure what happened, but the king's own archmage is the primary suspect. As an aspiring bounty hunter, Cain intends to finally bring that mage to justice. The fame and glory he's wanted for so long will finally be his when he finds this criminal. To his surprise, this arcane master of legend is in a quiet little border village, running a tea shop of all things. The Trader's Grimoire is a fantasy romance exploring themes of betrayal and deception, letting go of grief and anger through building connections with the people around you. It's also very, very queer. By which I mean I'm the author, I'm trans, aromantic, and omnisexual, and I'm gonna tell the stories that I want to see represented more when it comes to queer experiences. With that summary in mind, let's talk a little bit about our main characters. I don't want to start spoiling too much of the story, but there's plenty of flavor in these characters that I'm excited to get into. Cain here is our hero figure, or at least he's trying to be. He spent his life around soldiers and guards with very structured ideas of what's right and wrong. All the time growing up with authority and conformity is starting to take a toll on Cain. He wants to show that he can be a force of good without just being a cog in the machine. This leads him to being a bit rebellious, hot-tempered, and thinking he knows what's best even when he's out of his depth. For Cain's design, I wanted 2 words. Angry marshmallow. He is my soft squishy son, and he wants to fistfight the sun. His skin is a bit lighter because he's typically wearing multiple layers of clothing and armor, but he's got numerous freckles on his cheek from marching in the sun. I gave him big round eyes so I can easily show how expressive and emotional he is. His hair is kept short in an effort to be uniform and tidy, but those curls will not be contained. For colors, Cain is going to start out in a lot of blue. The human kingdom in this world is represented a lot with blue and silver, and when we first see Cain, he's going to be wearing a soldier's uniform. That's going to slowly change over time as he gains his own identity, but I haven't settled on what the new colors are going to be just yet. Who knows, maybe his future outfits can be put to a vote by my readers. Now let's talk about this alleged archmage hiding out in a tea shop. This is Silas. He's an elf that's been living in the village of Shallowwood for a few years now. He's a real community-minded guy, very friendly and polite, but in a laid-back kind of way, if that makes sense. Like, he's not overly bubbly or energetic, but he'll always greet his customers with a warm smile. He even does extra favors for the villagers, like reading their fortunes in the tea leaves and warning them of trouble, or brewing simple potions for smaller ailments they don't want to trouble the apothecary over. He's even got a few close friends he spends time with when he's not working. But under all that warmth and kindness, something deeper is going on. Silas wants nothing more than to live a quiet, peaceful life, but that's something he can never really have, no matter how hard he tries. Mistakes from his past still haunt him, and a deep loss he hasn't figured out how to fully process. There's a lot of grief behind that polite smile, and it's just waiting for someone to dig deeper and uncover it. Originally, Silas's design was a lot more complicated. His robes had a lot more intricate patterns and accessories, but I decided to simplify him so I didn't die while drawing him 50 million times. He does have a few fancier outfits set aside for specific scenes, but for his everyday wear, it's simple cloth and neutral tones. Given his magic centers around tea brewing and natural herbs, I used a lot of greens and earthier tones in his design. The lily pad on his hat gives him a pop of color, serving as both a nod to the fact the village is right on the edge of a swamp, and symbolizing deeper themes of rebirth. So in case it wasn't obvious, these two are going to end up falling for each other. That's no big secret. I did say this was going to be enemies to lovers, and more specifically, it's I came down to this town to catch a necromancer and caught feelings for him instead. I have plans for a lot of shenanigans with these two. There's going to be tension, fights, and I'm really going to establish that enemies part and not just rush into the lovers bit. Of course, you can't make a good story with just 2 characters. Or at least, I can't, anyway. I've got plenty of side characters with their own lives going on. I think it makes the world more interesting when the background characters have little details about them that don't necessarily contribute to the main plot, they're just there for flavor. For example, we've got this trio of recurring characters, Keith, Yennik, and Tamia. They start out as just some faceless figures to make the scene look busy, but the more I've drawn them, the more I've thought about their lives and personalities. Keith and Tamia are twins, and Yennik is Tamia's husband. I tried to come up with 2 fun facts about each of them to help me work out their personalities and dynamics. That way they stay consistent throughout the story. Keith works at the village mill, but on the side he has a flower garden he's very proud of. He's more the gentle one of the trio, often keeping the peace if an argument breaks out. Yennik is the oldest of 7 brothers who live on the local farm, and his specialty is with the chickens. He's a firm believer that singing to the chickens makes their eggs taste better. Meanwhile, his wife Tamia loves the cows in particular. She's the fun and bubbly one to balance out Yennik's more gruff, no-nonsense attitude. Oh, and she's won the arm wrestling competition at the local spring festival the last 3 years in a row. Definitely not a lady you want to mess with. This is a story that's going to have a lot of mysteries and twists, and I plan to take my time with it. This is my first webcomic, so I hope to see my own skills improve as the series goes on. I can already see improvements in my art comparing the first page to the 10th, and I hope to grow a lot more as an artist and as a writer. I've already got plans for another story after this one, and the ultimate challenge is going to be an even bigger comic that I've been writing for a few years now. But I'm learning from other creators before me and starting small, pacing myself to make sure I can provide the best quality content possible for you guys and establish a consistent schedule. I hope you're all as excited as I am to see this cinematic universe grow, and that you all enjoy these characters as much as I do. If you'd like to start reading The Traitor's Grimoire, the first 3 episodes are already out now on Webtoon. The link will be in the description below, and let me know in the comments which character interests you the most, or what you're most excited to see in the story. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and as always, remember to drink water, and have a great rest of your day. Love yourself, friends. Bye-bye!